Dear students, in the previous video lecture, I started the discussion of laws of chemical combinations. In that session, I discussed two laws. Number one, law of conservation of mass. Number two, law of constant composition, that is definite proportion. In this lecture, I will talk about law of multiple proportions, law of reciprocal proportions, and Gay-Lussac's law of combining volume. I will start this session with the law of multiple proportions. This law was given in 1803 by John Dalton. According to this law, when two elements combine with each other to form two or more compounds, the masses of one of the elements which combine with fixed mass of the other bear a simple whole number ratio to one another. Now, look at this. Two elements combine. Two elements combine to form how many compounds? Two or more compounds. So first of all, this law of multiple proportions involve how many elements? Two elements. For example, if I take two elements N and O, the law says two elements combine with each other and form two or more compounds. Let us say compound 1 as N2O, compound 2 as NO, compound 3 as N2O3, compound 4 as N2O4, compound 5 as N2O5. So basically, these are 5 oxides of nitrogen. Then the law says these two elements combine to form two or more compounds. Then the masses of one of the elements which combine with the fixed mass of the other. So we have to keep the mass of one of these elements fixed when you form these compounds. So if I take nitrogen for fixed mass, let us say here fixed mass, you can take any mass, but for the calculation purpose I am taking 14 gram here. Then it says find the mass of oxygen which combines with 14 gram nitrogen to form N2O, mass of oxygen that combines with 14 grams of nitrogen to form NO, mass of oxygen that combines with 14 gram nitrogen to form N2O3, mass of oxygen that combines with 14 gram of nitrogen to form N2O4, mass of oxygen that combines with 14 gram nitrogen to form N2O5. Every time we have to keep nitrogen here fixed. We have to keep nitrogen fixed. Now we have to find the masses of oxygen. For that we'll take the help of molar masses of the compound. Here you can see 14 into 2, 28 plus 16, and this value is 44 gram. Here if you find 14 plus 16 and the value is 30 gram. Here if you find 14 into 2, 28, 28 plus 48, and this value is actually 76 gram. Here if you find this is 28 plus 64 and the value is actually 92 gram. If you look at N2O5, it is 28 plus 80 and the value is 108 gram. In the first case, you can see we have taken 14 gram of nitrogen. Here 28 is there with 16 gram oxygen. So 14 gram will be there with how much oxygen? 8 grams. So W1 is 8 gram. Now 14 is with 16. We have taken 14. So here W2 will be 16 gram. Now 28 is with 48 gram oxygen. So 14 gram nitrogen will be with how many grams of oxygen? 24 gram oxygen. Here 28 gram nitrogen is there with 64 gram of oxygen. So 14 gram will be with how many grams? 32 gram oxygen. Now 28 is there with 80. So 14 will be with 40 gram. So we have got the masses of oxygen 8 gram, 16 gram, 24 gram, 32, 40 gram. Now take the ratio. W1 is to W2 is to W3 is to W4 is to W5. The value comes as 1 is to 2 is to 3 is to 4 is to 5. And the law says they bear a simple whole number ratio. My point is clear. The law says two elements. So first of all, this law involves how many elements? Two elements. Two elements, when combined, they form two or more compounds. If you keep mass of one of the elements fixed in all the compounds, then the masses of other elements will bear a simple whole number ratio. My point is clear. Now, to understand this law in a better manner, I will take a question here. Here the question says, hydrogen and oxygen are known to form two compounds. The mass percentage of hydrogen in one compound is 5.93 and in second it is 11.2. Show that this data illustrates the law of multiple proportions. First of all, two elements are H and O. In the data it is given that compound 1, the hydrogen, if I say 5.93 gram, oxygen will become 100 minus 5.93 because this is mass percentage. So this value is 94.07 gram. In compound 2, the value of hydrogen or the mass of hydrogen is given as 11.2 gram. So the oxygen will become 100 minus 11.2 and the value comes as 88.8 gram. Okay, but according to the law, we have to keep the mass of one of the elements fixed. So if I keep mass of hydrogen fixed here, let us say in first case also W gram, in the second case also W gram. According to this W gram, you have to find mass of oxygen. According to this W gram, you have to find mass of oxygen. So what will you say? 5.93 gram hydrogen is present with 94.07 gram oxygen. So W gram hydrogen will be present with how much oxygen? 94.07 upon 5.93 into W. My point is clear. This value comes as 15.85 W. Okay, now in second compound, we have to find mass of oxygen that is there with W gram of hydrogen. So again, unitary method, 11.2 gram hydrogen is there with 88.8 gram oxygen. So W gram will be there with 88.8 upon 11.2 into W. And this value comes as 7.928. So here I'll write 7.928 W. So if we keep the mass of one of the elements fixed, according to the law, the ratio of the masses of other elements should come whole number. So if I try to find, let us say this as W1 and this as W2. So W1 upon W2 comes as, I will write this as 15.85 W upon 7.928 W. This is 2. So the ratio is 2 is to 1. The ratio is 2 is to 1. Hence, the given data is according to the law of multiple proportions. Point is clear? Now I'll take another law here. Law of reciprocal proportion. This law is given by Richter. This law was given in 1792. According to the law, when two elements combine separately with a fixed mass of a third element, then the ratio of their masses in which they do so is either same or some simple whole number multiple of the ratio in which they combine with each other. Now, if you read this law carefully, there are three elements involved. First two elements and this third element. In the law of multiple proportions, two elements were involved. Here, three elements are involved. Second thing, to remember this law, you can remember what? Two ratios. The law says two ratios. Here it is ratio 1. Here it is ratio 2. So two ratios according to the law are either same or multiple of each other. Okay. Now back to the law. I have to take two elements. So you can take, for example, H and O. These two elements according to the law combine with the fixed mass of third. Let the third element as sulfur and you have to keep the mass of this third element fixed. You can assume any mass, but for the calculation purpose I am taking 32 gram. Law says hydrogen combines with sulfur separately to form H2S. Oxygen combines with sulfur separately to form SO2. When hydrogen combines with sulfur, get the mass of hydrogen. Let us say W1. W1 is what? Mass of hydrogen which combine with fixed mass of sulfur to form H2S, and that you can find with the help of molar masses. If I say H2S, 2 gram hydrogen is there with 32 gram of sulfur. So obviously, if I am keeping fixed mass 32 gram sulfur is there with 2 gram of hydrogen. So the mass of hydrogen here comes as 2 grams. So W1 comes as 2. Now oxygen combines with sulfur separately to form SO2. I will get W2. W2 is what? Mass of oxygen which combine with fixed mass of sulfur to give SO2, and that can be found with the help of molar mass. S32 plus 16 into 2, 32. So 32 gram sulfur is there with 32 gram of oxygen, and we have kept sulfur 32 gram during the reaction. So the mass of oxygen here is 32. So I got the value of self oxygen as 32, W2 as 32. So what will be the ratio 1? Ratio 1 is the ratio of masses of first two elements which combine with third, fixed mass of third separately. So R1 will be W1 upon W2, and that is 2 upon 32 is 1 by 16. Now what is ratio 2? Ratio 2 is when first two elements combine with each other. First two elements combine with each other and give a compound. You can assume H2O, you can assume H2O2. If I take H2O2, then I have to get the value of W1 dash, W1 dash and W2 dash. W1 dash is what? Weight of hydrogen that combines with W2 dash weight of oxygen to form H2O2. And these values can be found easily with the help of molar mass. If I write, it is 2 plus 32, and that is 34 gram. So W1 dash will be 2, W2 dash will be 32. So if I try to find ratio 2, it comes 2 by 32 means 1 by 16. The law says these two ratios will be either same or multiple of each other. Fortunately, in this case, I am getting R1 as 1 by 16. I am getting R2 as 1 by 16. So, R1 is equal to R2. My point is clear? Now, if I take in place of H2O2, if I take H2O, then the ratio 2 will actually come as, for H2O, the weight of hydrogen is 2 and oxygen is 16. So it will come 1 by 8. Now the two ratios are not same, but R2 is 2 times R1. And according to the law, the two ratios will be either same or multiple of each other. My point is clear? Now, first of all, this law involves three elements. The law says two elements combine with the third element, fixed mass of third element separately, and the ratio of their masses will be R1. Second, when the first two elements combine with each other, the ratio of their masses will be R2. According to the law, the two ratios are either same or multiple of each other. Point is clear? Now, to understand this law in a better manner, I will take a question. Here the question says, aluminum carbide contains 75% aluminum. Aluminum oxide contains 52.9% of aluminum, and carbon dioxide contains 27.2% carbon. Show that the given information illustrates the law of reciprocal proportions. If I take first two elements as carbon and oxygen, and the third element as aluminium. The purpose of making this triangle is you can take any two elements as first element, and this way you will get the third element. In this particular case, I have taken carbon and oxygen as the first two elements. When carbon combines with aluminium, you get aluminium carbide. Aluminium carbide. When oxygen combines with aluminium, you get aluminium oxide. And when carbon combines with oxygen, you get carbon dioxide. I'm not writing the formula because I have to use the given data. As you know, you have to find W1, W2, and that will help you in finding ratio 1, that is W1 upon W2. And then you have to find W1 dash and W2 dash, and these two masses will help you in getting the ratio 2. And in the law, you have to prove that the two ratios are either same or multiple of each other. What is W1? W1 is the weight of carbon that reacts with aluminium, fixed mass of aluminium. Fixed mass of aluminium to form aluminium carbide. W2 is what? Weight of oxygen that combines with fixed mass of aluminium to form aluminium oxide. And W1 dash is the mass of carbon that reacts with W2 dash gram of oxygen to form carbon dioxide. What is the data given? In aluminium carbide, they have given the aluminium percentage. So aluminium is 75 if I take, then carbon will obviously be how many grams? 25 gram. Since you have fixed aluminium W gram, you have to find the mass of carbon that is there with W gram of aluminium. Unitary method can be used. 75 gram is there with 25 gram of carbon. So W will be there with 25 upon 75 into W, and this way we get the mass of carbon that reacts with W gram of aluminium to form aluminium carbide. Now W2, weight of oxygen, for that data is given is what? Here the aluminium percentage is given 52.9. So oxygen here will be how much? Oxygen here will be 47.1. So again unitary method, 52.9 grams of aluminium are present with 47.1 gram of oxygen. So W gram will be present with how much? So the weight of oxygen this way comes as 47.1 upon 52.9 into W. And if you find the ratio 1, that is W1 upon W2, the value comes as 0.374. Now I have to find ratio 2, for that W1 dash and W2 dash required. And this is directly given. You can see in carbon dioxide, carbon percentage is 27.27. So the oxygen amount will be what? 100 minus 27.27, and the value comes as 72.73. So the ratio 2 will be W1 dash upon W2 dash. If you find, the value comes as 0.374. Since R1 is coming equal to R2, hence the given data illustrates the law of reciprocal proportions. My point is clear? Now I'll take another law here. Gay-Lussac's law of combining volumes. Dear students, on the basis of study of large number of reactions, he observed a relationship between volumes of gaseous components involved in chemical reaction. According to this law, when gases react with each other, they do so in volumes which bear a simple whole number ratio to one another and to the volumes of the products if these are also gases, provided all volumes are measured under same conditions of temperature and pressure. For example, if I write N2 plus 3H2, we get 2NH3. In mole concept, we have said that 1 mole of N2 reacts with 3 moles of H2 to give 2 moles of NH3. Now, since these components are in gaseous state, the law says you can say 1 liter of N2 reacts with 3 liters of H2 to give 2 liters of NH3, or 1 ml of N2 reacts with 3 ml of H2 to produce 2 ml of NH3. Similarly, if I write H2 plus Cl2 giving HCl, since these components are in gas state, I can say 1 volume of H2 requires 1 volume of Cl2 to produce 2 volume of HCl. And this we can explain because we know ideal gas equation, which is PV is equal to nRT. If I say pressure and temperature same, constant, then volume will be directly proportional to number of moles. My point is clear. This is all about different laws of chemical combinations. Thank you.